this one. From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
This is WION. World is one. This is your prime time. And you are watching Gravitas.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching Gravitas. I'm Molly Gambhir. Let's get started. Our top story tonight on Gravitas takes you behind the scenes. As the US and Iran continue to exchange fire and heated rhetoric, what are the implications of those latest attacks and what's happening on the ground? Will Syria join the war? How long can Trump continue to pay the price? We're decoding all of this and a lot more in just a bit. Also on the show for you tonight, as Sonam Wangchuk's fight continues, where do things stand right now? Big claims made by the ousted Ukrainian defense minister, getting you a special report shortly. Xi Jinping losing patience with Asim Munir as Balochistan threatens China's biggest mine in Pakistan. We decode this. We tell you how the hydrogen train breakthrough puts India in a special elite league. India's rainfall plunging to a 24-year low. We tell you why this matters as the drought fears return. The president of Argentina will not attend the FIFA World Club final because of superstition. You don't have to miss this story. Mysterious space rock's sudden course has left scientists stunned. We tell you all about this. All this and a lot more coming up. All right, on to some breaking news coming in right this minute. A tsunami threat has been issued after the magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck an area in Mexico. And according to the latest details that are trickling in, the earthquake occurred at a depth of about 10 kilometers is what is known right now. And there have been no reports, immediate reports as of now, of any casualties or major damage. According to the authorities, the tsunami threat exists for parts of the Pacific located closer to the region. All right, so that's the latest that we have for you right now. A big development, the tsunami threat after that 7.4 magnitude earthquake rocked Mexico. The tremors have been felt in other parts. As of now is what we know. Remember, these are initial details. The developments continue to trickle in. Authorities also warning that the tsunami waves is something that we are also be closely monitoring. That's the location where the 7.4 earthquake has struck. We'll straight across now to our correspondent Susan Tehrani with us for more on this. Susan, over to you. What more can you tell us right now?
So, Molly, it appears that the affected countries are not El Salvador, Guatemala, and of course Mexico as well. While there hasn't been reports of immediate casualties, authorities are warning not only for tsunami but also for tremors of aftershock as well, warning residents in Mexico and these other regions to be mindful and heed to the calls of those authorities. Now, what we are learning is that there may be aftershocks within hours. They're telling people to avoid open flames in damaged buildings. And they also say that those that are, because of the tsunami warning, those that are living around the coast to stay away from the beach as of now. Of course, you can imagine this is very difficult because of the situation of these countries and where they're situated, but nonetheless, it is a developing story, and as we get more information, we're going to bring you more on that.
All right, we're leaving it there for the moment. Susan, thanks very much for getting us up to speed with the latest. And of course, this is a developing story that we will be closely monitoring. It has been a day of high voltage moves by Iran. As the US and Iran continue to exchange fire, are these moves also going to change the course of the war and determine the future of West Asia, having far-reaching implications? Before we take you beyond the headlines and tell you what's happening behind the scenes, here's a quick look at one of those key moves. According to a Reuters report, Iran struck eastern Syria on Friday, citing Iranian state media and a Syrian military source reportedly, in the first known attack by Tehran on Syrian territory since the regional war erupted. Let's just break this down for you. The report says Iran's Revolutionary Guard said they had attacked a US Special Operations Command Center at Al-Tanf in Syria in retaliation for the killing of the Iranian soldiers. In fact, according to state media. Now, let's just first tell you what we are talking about. This is the location. This is the Al-Tanf base. Look at where it is situated geographically. This is a key location. It is located at the tri-border confluence, as you can see, of Syria, Jordan and Iraq. In fact, the report also says Reuters could not independently verify the claim. A Syrian military source reportedly has told Reuters that Iran had carried out an attack near Al-Tanf, but that it had not hit the base itself. So that's what has emerged right now. Just for the context here, the US military had said in February it had completed a withdrawal from the Al-Tanf base. Meanwhile, the Syrian military reportedly has denied that Iran had bombed the base. While the developments continue to trickle in and we piece them together, for the context, here's why these developments are extremely significant. Let's just explain this to you. Syria has sought to avoid being drawn into the regional conflict that has engulfed the neighboring countries, including Lebanon, remember, where Hezbollah has fought Israeli forces, Iraq, where Iran-backed armed groups have launched drone and rocket attacks. In fact, the Syrian president, Ahmad al-Shara, had said in March that his country would stay out of any conflict unless it came under attack. This is exactly what he said. I'm quoting, "Unless Syria is targeted by any party, Syria will remain outside any conflict." So given what is emerging right now and as the developments continue to be pieced together, what happens now? Will al-Shara also join the war? Just imagine the implications if that happens. Meanwhile, a lot has already happened on the ground, which each of these developments sending shockwaves through the entire region. The United States struck bridges and an airport in Iran on Friday. Tehran responded by hitting a power and desalination plant in Kuwait, as the warring sides risked further escalation by expanding their targets to also include infrastructure. Iran, in fact, has claimed that it has struck several US military aircraft stationed in Jordan with ballistic missiles and drones in retaliation for the overnight US strikes on multiple places in the country. that claimed the lives of several people. And this, by the way, came hours after Jordan's military said it shot down 3 Iranian missiles, reporting no casualties or damage. In a statement, Iran's Revolutionary Guards also said they have destroyed several US refueling aircraft and fighter jets and caused serious damage to many more, quote unquote. Meanwhile, in the Strait of Hormuz, the US Marines earlier boarded a tanker and another ship was reported to have been hit by a projectile. Another vessel was reportedly boarded by armed men off Yemen, though one maritime security source reportedly said the incident appeared to be an act of Somali piracy rather than linked to the Iran conflict, so those details are still emerging. Meanwhile, Kuwait has said Iran attacked a power and water desalination plant, causing widespread damage to the station. Iran's energy ministry calling on the people to reduce electricity use after the power grid came under strain. Following the US strikes on energy infrastructure, it's a massive development. In fact, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps saying that they have targeted US radar systems and military aircraft in Qatar to punish the aggressor, quote unquote, following the overnight US strikes. IRGC also saying it carried out the attack on the Al Udeid air base in Qatar, claiming that it destroyed a long-range radar system and several US aerial refueling aircraft. Each of these developments carrying weight for the entire region. Remember, it has been a week of major escalations with both sides racing down this dangerous path. West Asia is getting pulled further into lethal uncertainty. But what's really happening behind the scenes? What's the strategy looking like now? Remember, while Trump has been going full throttle as far as this war is concerned, at least for now, the Americans have also been feeling the pinch throughout, with severe costs on American households. Meanwhile, apart from Trump's popularity earlier also taking a hit, the anti-war sentiment in America being a major topic of discussion, what has been the actual cost of the Iran war is also a crucial question here. Let's just lay it out for you. According to an NBC News report, while the Pentagon has said the war has cost the US about $30 billion, as per the report citing sources, an internal overall cost estimate is $80 billion to $100 billion. You can do the math. So the cost of the war with Iran could be more than triple the most recent estimate of roughly $30 billion. It's a huge difference. In fact, the real story of the cost this war has had for America, there are multiple layers to this. The cost of keeping the war machine itself running and going has been humongous. Trump wants more funds. On Thursday itself, in crucial developments, Republicans in the US Congress forged ahead with that $95 billion budget plan. What's the story there? $95 billion, a huge amount. Basically to meet Donald Trump's demands for new defense funding for the Iran war, farm assistance, and a sweeping overhaul of voting requirements ahead of the midterm elections. Just for more context here, a Republican-controlled budget panel in the US House of Representatives basically approved the resolution on Thursday, which means it has been cleared for a full House vote as early as next week. But then for how long can Trump keep paying the price? And which path will he take? A lot of those war calculations would also be made keeping in mind, of course, the big battle, the midterm elections, a major test for US President Donald Trump. Will he continue to ramp up pressure on Iran? Will this lead to a fragile ceasefire then? And then perhaps claim so-called victory ahead of those elections? Or maybe hope that the actual failure would drown out in the loud chants and rhetoric of claiming victory? Or will he dial down the pressure and the attacks ahead of the elections and perhaps hope that the people will forget and forgive? But for how long will the American people keep feeling the impact? This also has been looking like an unending conflict for multiple reasons. No country can afford this kind of evaporation of money. With each passing day, the war bill is mounting, and all of these war-related costs are likely to continue to accumulate in the days and weeks ahead with major implications. When your position is considered by many as the most powerful in the world, it is quite likely that you will have benefits in some way or the other. But could it outrightly lead the person raking in millions of dollars? If you haven't guessed it already, we are talking about US President Donald Trump. A number of questions are being asked right now. In fact, from sneakers, Bibles, watches, cryptocurrency-linked products reportedly, and now even his social media posts. Donald Trump, the businessman, knows exactly how to brand himself. In fact, his Truth Social account has nearly 13 million followers. It's closely watched, of course, by all parts of the world, given how frequently he uses it. Because Trump uses his accounts to make threats or impose tariffs, issue major warnings and statements, or maybe potential announcements of impending US military action, Trump has found a way to also try and monetize this. Now the US president is selling access to some of those posts in milliseconds. Trump Media and Technology Group, the parent company of the microblogging platform, has announced plans to launch something quite unique. It's something which basically, it's reportedly a data feed that provides what it calls the fastest real-time access to posts from the highest ranking Truth Social accounts. The service reportedly will deliver posts from Truth Social's 10 most influential accounts to customers significantly faster than the usual push notification, which includes Trump, by the way, who has the highest number of followers on Truth Social. Maybe no surprises there. But what exactly is this monetization aspect in all of this? The US president reportedly owns around 41% of the publicly traded Trump Media through a revocable trust. How much money has Trump made since returning to the White House? According to reports, Trump's personal income in 2025 nearly quadrupled. According to a Forbes analysis, he made $2.4 billion last year. Just to put that into perspective, that is 6,000 times the current US presidential salary of $400,000. $400,000. Just 2 weeks ago itself, Trump, remember, defended himself against accusations that he is enriching himself while in office, specifically dismissing claims that his personal or family crypto ventures are a conflict of interest. And it's not just Trump alone, by the way, who is making the earnings. Even his teleprompter operator reportedly is in the spotlight. Why? Because Trump's longtime teleprompter operator has been put on unpaid administrative leave after an investigation into alleged trading activity. The White House has confirmed that he is under investigation by the US federal regulators over potential insider trading on a prediction market platform. It's a big development. Listen to this.
And the individual that was cited in that report is complying with the CFTC, but has been put on paid administrative leave. So there will be a teleprompter operator tonight, of course, but it will not be the one, unfortunately, in that story.
Now, the US Treasury and the US Mint have also started producing a new commemorative coin featuring the portrait of Donald Trump, released to celebrate America's 250th independence anniversary. The coin has a gold-colored finish featuring the bald eagle on the reverse and is expected to be released this fall itself.
आप सब चलेंगे हमारे साथ वादा
Our next story is from India. A climate activist, many other ways to introduce him. He has become an unlikely symbol of a youth-led movement, a major one. As Sonam Wangchuk's hunger strike at New Delhi's Jantar Mantar entered day 20. Concerns about his health have only mounted. Wangchuk had already lost about 9 kg since he started his fast. Offered a rather alarming assessment of the condition, the activist told supporters of the Cockroach Janata Party he will return as quote-unquote a ghost and remain in solidarity with them even if he loses his life. This is what was said exactly.
तब चलेंगे हमारे साथ वादा तो फिर मैं किसी भी तरह 20 जुलाई तक जिंदा रहूंगा और नहीं आए और 20 जुलाई सफल नहीं रहा तो मैं भूत बन के आऊंगा.
Now, his reference to the 20th of July is quite significant. Let's tell you the story there. It marks the first day of the monsoon session of India's parliament. On that very day, the CJP and its supporters will be marching to the parliament to seek justice for students who have ended their lives allegedly because of the cancellation of the NEET UG exam, because of an alleged large-scale paper leak. While a re-examination was held on the 21st of June and the results were announced as well, protesters are demanding accountability from the government at the centre and seeking the Union Education Minister's resignation.
लेकिन उस ताकत के साथ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि हमें कहीं से भी कोई लॉ वायलेट नहीं करना है, हमें एकदम पीसफुली.
Sonam Wangchuk, he has of course been that crucial figure in this agitation for Ladakh's rights as well. He was detained, remember, under India's stringent National Security Act. On the 26th of September last year, he was accused of inciting violence that left at least 4 people dead. He was released from jail 170 days later in March this year. 170 days. So far, several political leaders have met him, urging him to end his fast, calling upon the government to initiate a dialogue with the protesters. Earlier in the day itself, Supriya Sule also visited him and promised to raise concerns of the students in the upcoming parliament session. On behalf of the Congress party, meanwhile, its media and communications chairman, Pawan Khera, reached Jantar Mantar as well. He met Sonam Wangchuk and accused the government of being callous. He also urged the activists to end his hunger strike. The matter has also reached the courts while hearing a public interest litigation expressing concern over Wangchuk's health. The Delhi High Court directed the authorities to monitor his health on a daily basis and provide medical intervention whenever necessary. It observed that all efforts need to be made by the authorities to save the life of the citizens. So far, he has refused to call off his fast. In fact, he has affirmed that ending it without any response from the government would undermine the purpose of the movement, while he has maintained that the focus should be on making the parliament march successful. The political landscape in Kiev has erupted into chaos as Zelensky faces unprecedented leadership crisis. Thousands of furious citizens flooding the streets for a second straight day. The anger is boiling over after the sudden sacking of a successful defense minister. The ouster, in fact, has also exposed explosive internal rifts, with the former minister openly accusing the military establishment of sabotaging victory. Take a look.
Thunder of Russian artillery echoes along the front lines. Devastating waves of cruise missiles pound Ukrainian cities, exposing critical vulnerabilities in the nation's air defenses. The port city of Odessa once again came under deadly Russian attack. Ukrainian authorities say that Russia fired missiles which damaged more than 10 residential buildings. Even as the country bleeds from fierce frontline assaults, Ukraine has struck back with long-range drone strikes hitting deep inside Russian territory, setting strategic logistics hubs ablaze. But the real catastrophic damage is happening inside the corridors of power in Kiev, where the government is tearing itself apart. President Volodymyr Zelensky is facing an intense domestic backlash after firing his popular defense minister Mikhailo Fedorov after just 6 months in office. The shock removal has triggered mass protests in Kiev and cities across the country, an unprecedented display of civil unrest during total war.
I truly believe and hope that the government will, after all, listen to the people, that it will heed the people's demands, because this is what the people want, for the sake of our soldiers' lives and for the sake of the civilians who live under air attacks every day.
For many protesters, this is about preserving the momentum of Ukraine on the battlefield and also the technological progress they already achieved. And many of people who are here are worrying that when Mikhailo Fedorov will be dismissed, all those efforts will be in vain and could be reversed under the new leadership.
Mikhailo Fedorov, speaking to reporters in an underground garage, delivered his sharpest public criticism yet of Ukraine's war strategy, defense corruption and military leadership.
I promise that we need to talk like adults. In fact, we have no other choice if we want to defeat the enemy asymmetrically with minimal losses, where strong leaders and commanders will develop and won't be suppressed, written off, sent away, squeezed out, and so on. A modern organization based on technology requires leadership in management.
Public anger in Ukraine is reaching a boiling point over Zelensky's refusal to hold democratic elections, with critics accusing the administration of using martial law to shield systemic corruption. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Time now to take a quick look at the key global headlines at this hour, taking you around the world in 120 seconds.
A wildfire in Spain's northern Aragon region has burned more than 7,600 hectares, with at least 1,000 people evacuated as firefighters struggle to contain the blaze. An anti-Trump billboard in Tehran asked who is next following the death of Senator Lindsey Graham. Another anti-Trump banner hanging in Tehran depicted U.S. President Donald Trump drowning alongside Netanyahu and U.S. Secretary of War Hegseth. Drone and rocket strikes killed 9 members of an Iranian Kurdish armed opposition group in Iraq's Kurdistan region. The attacks, which the Kurdish government blamed on Tehran. Humanoid robots have emerged as the biggest attraction on the opening day of the 2026 World Artificial Intelligence Conference in Shanghai. An alleged time bomb plot was foiled after Gujarat anti-terror agency arrested 5 Jaish members. The agency revealed one of the arrested operatives possessed advanced knowledge of explosives and was on the verge of making it a live time bomb. A suspected Pakistani boat was found abandoned during a routine patrol by the BSF in the creek area of Kutch. The chariots of Lord Jagannath and his sibling deities reached their destination of Sri Gundicha Temple in Puri a day after the Rath Yatra. French Culture Minister Catherine Pegard views the Bayeux tapestry at the British Museum in central London, a week after the 11th century artwork depicting the 1066 Norman conquest of England arrived.
On to a special report. Balochistan is going through a turbulent phase. This year itself has seen 342 incidents of violence. 289 people have been killed. Amid all of this, is Xi Jinping losing patience with the Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir? Pakistan's largest copper and gold mine is under a massive cloud after China raised serious security concerns. Let's break this down for you. First, what's the story of this mine? It's located close to the Iran border in Balochistan, a province which accounts for nearly 44% of Pakistan's territory. China, which has invested billions of dollars in Pakistan as part of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, also operates this mine. In fact, China's concerns came to light when a report claimed that the mine's operations could be halted within a month's time. As per this report, the worsening law and order situation had severely impacted the availability of the essential production materials and logistics support at the site. While the mine's management subsequently refuted this report, the Pakistan government acknowledged receiving security-related grievances. It basically directed the provincial authorities and the security agencies to beef up deployment for all their installations, personnel, logistics, and transportation. But why exactly is this mine so significant for Pakistan? It is the country's largest copper and gold mine and in fact was leased to China's state-owned firm. Since then, it has been operating the mine and as per reports, it also accounts for a majority of exports of Pakistan's copper products. And this also, by the way, comes at a point when Balochistan remains on the boil. Last week itself, the Pakistan military revealed that at least 42 people, most of whom were security personnel, were killed in 3 attacks by the Baloch insurgents. In subsequent operations, Pakistani forces claimed to have killed 129 militants. Now, concerns about infrastructure projects being targeted are not unfounded. Earlier this month itself, gunmen killed 9 police officers in an attack on a checkpost. This was at a dam project in Balochistan. And that's not all. In May, over 30 people were killed after a suicide bomber rammed an explosive-laden car into a train in Quetta, which was carrying Pakistani security personnel and their families as well. In fact, even as Pakistan continues to jail human rights activists like Mehrang Baloch, it has not been able to control the on-ground situation. It has not been able to control the on-ground situation. In fact, human rights activist Miryar Baloch claimed earlier that rebel forces now control 85% of Balochistan's territory and are ready to throw out Munir's forces by the end of this year itself. It's a major statement. Meanwhile, Pakistan has claimed success on the anti-terrorism front. What a joke. By claiming to have killed 24 militants in a series of operations in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Remember, this is a problem of its own making. But considering also that Pakistan can't even protect its own security forces and civilians, it cannot even do that. It remains to be seen whether China scales back its presence in Pakistan and what happens here onwards.
Donald J. Trump, sympathetic to the nation of Israel.
Is Israel making inroads in its attempt to influence America's decision-making amid the US-Iran war? You know why this question is being asked? Knives are out, it seems, for Israel once again. And this criticism, by the way, is coming from none other than US Vice President J.D. Vance, who, remember, is perceived as a potential future US presidential candidate. Speaking with podcaster Joe Rogan, Vance said that some members of the Israeli government had tried to influence US public opinion to oppose the US-Iran deal. What's even more shocking is that he accused some elements within the Netanyahu-led government of running a paid campaign against him for publicly pressing for an agreement with Iran. Let's just tell you more about what was said. The exact statement, quoting, "They are attacking me obsessively, saying that we should not be negotiating with Iran and we should keep the military campaign going on indefinitely," quote unquote. And he also rubbished allegations of being influenced by any foreign government. That's the entire statement. Vance also making a rather curious remark, which has fueled speculation of his disagreement with the way US President Donald Trump is handling the Iran situation. He observed, I'm quoting, "What bothers me is when American leadership allows that influence to affect their judgment and to affect what they are advocating for," quote unquote. A lot has been said clearly. White House press secretary insisted that Vance and Trump are on the same page. No surprises there. At the same time, she conceded that foreign countries do try to influence America's public opinion. Listen in.
I think the president would certainly agree that, yes, foreign countries certainly do try to persuade American public opinion. There's no doubt about that. I think it's just a basic fact.
Now remember, this is not the first time Vance has been critical of Israel, of course. When America and Iran were close to finalizing the MOU, Netanyahu often came in for criticism as the IDF continued bombing Lebanon despite a ceasefire. Last month, Vance stressed, in fact, that the US is Israel's only powerful ally at present.
Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world.
Now remember, this also comes at a time when the opposition to Netanyahu is only growing within America. For instance, the California governor told Axios in a recent interview that he fears Israel becoming an apartheid state, citing its policies in Lebanon, Gaza, West Bank over the last couple of years. That's also a major statement. With Israel heading towards elections in the month of October, Netanyahu's future has been on the line. Although his government will be Israel's first since 1988 to complete its full 4-year term, what a term it has been. His tenure has been rocked by a series of controversies, to say the least. Apart from facing criticism over security failure regarding the October 7 Hamas attack, he also became the first prime minister in the history of Israel to face criminal prosecution while in office. The Israeli prime minister is facing trial in 3 cases on charges of bribery, fraud, breach of trust. If convicted, he faces up to 10 years in prison. With opinion polls also indicating a tough fight for Netanyahu, is insecurity creeping in? Here's why we asked that. A latest decision has raised further questions. As per reports, the Ministerial Committee for Shin Bet Affairs has agreed to provide lifelong protection to Netanyahu, irrespective of the election result, lifelong. Additionally, his wife will be granted security as long as he is alive. Their children, Yair and Avner Shal, also receive protection for the next 5 years. And what makes it glaring is that the same rules will not extend to other ex-prime ministers whose security entitlement will be assessed on a case-to-case basis. Why has this exception been made for Netanyahu and his family alone? Mossad officials reportedly believe they are at a lifetime threat level, as Israel's enemies want to extract revenge for the country's recent wars. With Netanyahu increasingly coming under fire, all eyes will be on the next few months ahead as he seeks another term in power. Shifting focus for now to South India. Vijay's TVK government there in Tamil Nadu is facing criticism over a scheme under which Vijay's government has promised a gold ring weighing 1 gram to every child born in government hospitals. In fact, the government has floated a tender to procure over 4 lakh gold rings at an estimated cost of 750 crore rupees. 750 crore rupees. The scheme would be funded via the state's emergency fund, sparking criticism over wasteful expenditure of taxpayer money. The scheme is part of the TVK's pre-election promises. Remember, last month Vijay's government had issued an order to implement the scheme. The tender for procuring gold rings now formally kickstarts the scheme's implementation. And the government argues the scheme is aimed at elevating confidence in government hospitals and making public healthcare a preferred destination for institutional deliveries. But critics have called the scheme wasteful spending of taxpayer money, which could otherwise be used to strengthen public healthcare infrastructure, according to them. And this also comes just days after the TVK government launched a portal to improve healthcare infrastructure in the state. The health minister, in fact, had called for donations by industrialists and businessmen to help upgrade the state's healthcare infrastructure. So critics are questioning the prudence when it comes to spending crores on gold rings while also asking for donations to fund infrastructure upgrades. Tamil Nadu, just for context here, has a rich history of welfare spending, with governments across the political divide spending thousands of crores on welfare measures. The state already has several schemes supporting mothers, including financial assistance of 14,000 rupees during childbirth and pregnancy, and nutrition kits worth 4,000 rupees. Prime Minister Modi flagged off India's first hydrogen-powered train from Haryana, marking a major step in the country's push for clean and green transport. Hydrogen-powered train operating on the 89-kilometer route, Jind-Sonipat route. It will basically connect Jind, Gohana and Sonipat while also serving several intermediate stations. The train is among few hydrogen-powered trains in operation globally. With its launch, India also joins a select group of countries using hydrogen technology for rail transport. According to the Railways Ministry, the indigenously developed hydrogen fuel cell train set generates electricity on board using hydrogen and oxygen, producing only water vapor and heat as byproducts, resulting in near zero emissions at the point of use. Now, unlike conventional electric trains, the hydrogen-powered train does not depend on overhead power lines. 10-coach train can carry around 2,600 passengers and consists of 2 hydrogen-driving power cars and 8 trailer coaches. Prime Minister Modi lauded the development, calling it a strong example of the success of the Make in India initiative.
भारत की यह हाइड्रोजन ट्रेन धुआं रहित तो है ही, ये मेक इन इंडिया का भी एक बहुत सफल उदाहरण है। इस हाइड्रोजन ट्रेन को भारत के ही इंजीनियर्स ने डिजाइन किया है, भारत की ही कंपनी ने इसको बनाया है। साथियों, यह हाइड्रोजन ट्रेन बाकी ट्रेनों से बिल्कुल अलग है। इसके लिए पूरा सिस्टम अलग चाहिए, पूरा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अलग चाहिए।
And here's the other big headline coming in from India. It's facing its weakest monsoon start in nearly a quarter of a century, threatening crops, farmers, food production, and most importantly, bringing about fears of drought. It's a massive concern at this point. According to India's weather department, after briefly reviving early this month, the monsoon has lost momentum once again. The monsoon covered the entire country on the 9th of July, just one day behind the schedule. The rainfall deficit, which had crossed 30% in June, started narrowing, but then that recovery has proved short-lived. According to the IMD, India received a rainfall deficit of around 23% between the 1st of June and the 16th of July, compared to the usual. And while rainfall for the week of July 9 to 15 alone was 51% below normal. The current shortfall is quite significant. By mid-July, India's rainfall deficit has reportedly exceeded the full season deficit recorded during the devastating 2002 drought, when rainfall eventually ended 19% below normal. However, the comparison is not exact because the monsoon continues until September, and additional rainfall could still reduce the deficit. Meteorologists say El Nino is the biggest reason behind this weak monsoon. The warming of sea surface temperatures in the central and eastern Pacific disrupts global wind patterns, which in turn weakens the moisture-laden winds reaching India and typically suppresses monsoon rainfall. El Nino, by the way, was also a major factor behind the 2002 drought, and forecasts suggest it will strengthen further this season. India has not officially entered a meteorological drought. It's not entered a meteorological drought, and the IMD declares drought only when seasonal rainfall actually falls below 75% of the long period average. The final of the FIFA World Cup 2026 is round the corner, but the president of Argentina will be skipping. He will not be attending the match in New Jersey, and that is because of superstition. The president confirmed that he will not be traveling for the final, but the reason is quite intriguing. Let's tell you more about this. Speaking to a local radio station, he said he has watched Argentina win all 7 of their games from his presidential residence. And that's exactly what he's going to do this Sunday as well. In a bid to ensure that his country wins a 2nd straight World Cup title, he will also be wearing what he believes is a lucky jacket. And like him, many people in Argentina believe in sticking to the exact same routine if the team is winning. Quite interesting. In fact, he explained his jacket superstition, so-called superstition, to the local radio station. Since it's cold and I don't turn on the heat, I wear an oil company branded jacket. The day of the Switzerland game, it made me really hot. I took it off and they scored a goal against us. I put it back on and never took it off again. Now, this is not a new phenomenon. In fact, people in Argentina, and let's also tell you about presidents in Argentina, they have avoided attending high-stakes football matches since 1990, the superstition dating back to the 1990 World Cup, when then president visited the Argentine squad right before it suffered a stunning opening loss to Cameroon. Menem was branded jinx. No sitting Argentine president is known to have attended a national team match since. Time now for some offbeat stories that will leave you wondering. The solar system has produced another mystery. A space rock that astronomers thought they understood pretty well has suddenly rewritten its own story, forcing scientists to rethink what may be hiding in deep space. And just months after the arrival of the mysterious interstellar visitor, the timing could not be more intriguing. Take a look.
Sometimes the biggest discoveries begin with the smallest anomalies. A tiny object drifts quietly through space for years. Astronomers calculate its path. Everything appears predictable. Then, without warning, it begins to ignore the rules. And that is exactly what happened. Scientists have now revealed that an object long classified as an ordinary asteroid is something far rarer. Astronomers call it a dark comet. Unlike traditional comets, dark comets do not display these spectacular glowing tails that make them easy to identify. They look almost identical to asteroids, blending into the vast population of rocky bodies orbiting the Sun. But appearances can be deceptive. Researchers noticed that this object was undergoing tiny, yet measurable changes in its orbit. Gravity alone could not explain the shifts. After years of investigation, the mystery has finally been solved. The object is releasing extremely small amounts of gas, producing a gentle but continuous thrust. The outgassing is so weak that no visible tail forms, making the comet effectively invisible to traditional detection methods. Scientists describe it as a hidden engine operating in deep space. The discovery suggests that there could be many more dark comets moving unnoticed through the solar system. Now, this has major consequences. Dark comets blur the line between asteroids and comets. They challenge existing classification systems. They could also complicate efforts to predict the future path of near-Earth objects. The discovery comes at a remarkable moment. Astronomers are already closely tracking 3I Atlas, only the third confirmed interstellar object ever observed entering our solar system. While there is no evidence linking the two discoveries, both are reminding scientists that space still holds many surprises. One mystery arrived from another star, the other was hiding in plain sight all along. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Time now for the Gravitas image of the day. For this, we are taking you to China. The country has launched the world's first humanoid robot fighting league. Take a look at that. Human-like robots battling it out in kickboxing matches inside that octagon. Thrilling packed crowds watching on. The tournament has brought together over 200 teams, including from China, the US, and Singapore. Let's also take a quick look at what is expected to unfold over the next 24 hours. The three major events from around the world expected tomorrow. India eyes a historic milestone on Saturday as Skyroot Aerospace prepares to launch the country's first privately developed orbital rocket. Football fans turn their attention to the FIFA World Cup with the bronze medal match between France and England taking center stage. China has said it will raise domestic retail prices of petrol and diesel by over $44 from Saturday as the US-Iran war continues to impact oil prices around the world. And on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of Gravitas tonight. This is me, Molly Kampil, signing off. Thanks very much for watching.
The Israeli drone is above our heads all the time in Lebanon. more than 200,000 civilian homes have been destroyed. This looks like it used to be a toy for a little girl. Can't but wonder while I'm walking between all of this rubble, how many lives were destroyed, how many kids were traumatized, how many women lost their families. If this isn't a war crime, then what is? From the southern suburb of Beirut, I'm Radi Francis for WION World is One.
From roads that don't just carry traffic, but talk to the cars driving on them. To artificial intelligence helping an artist defy the limits of ALS. From AI systems guiding rescuers through disaster zones where every second counts, to the next generation of robots that don't just move but express, respond and connect. The future of technology isn't just getting smarter, it's changing how we live. All this and more in this episode of Tech It Out at These Times.
On Wings this week, we cover hospitality, a trend on the rise in India. Also, how tourists flock to Kashmir's Dal Lake, even as the region struggles with its water resources. We also cover the unique wedding festival in North Macedonia. Only on WION, World is One.
The Mini Cooper S will bring zest into your life. The BSA Scrambler is one heck of a good-looking ride. A content creator needs all the tools of the trade.
That's where you're wrong.
It's not?
No,
it looks like a headphone.
It's a fan.
But the secret to going fast on track remains much the same.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Catch Diksha's wire-to-wire win in a go-kart race, our shenanigans in a Mini Cooper S, and a morning ride on a retro bike. All these stories and more in this week's episode of WION Drive at These Times.
Get the latest updates. Breaking news. Credible, clear, continuous. Experts across aisles. Diverse voices, one platform. WION World is One.
In this rapidly changing world, is your health keeping pace? Best practices and breakthroughs busting the hype with real insights. The timeless power of yoga and ancient healing. Good food, good mood. Small steps, big impact. Your health matters. Only on WION World is One. Because nothing matters more.
Campaigns, elections, alliances, controversies, and power play. Stories that analyze global and domestic politics. A dedicated show with varied perspectives, expert take, citizens' voices, detailed ground reports, and in-depth coverage from political corridors of the world. This is Race to Power, only on WION.
WION, India's global voice. The channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One. In-depth coverage of global issues broken down into facts, figures, and simple words. Backed with analysis from field experts who truly matter, because we believe in decoding the real picture for you. So you get a much wider and deeper understanding of stories from around the world, a 360-degree analysis. An award-winning documentary series, week after week creating the maximum impact. Watch WION Wide Angle at these times on WION, World is One. From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Vielleicht nur als